Welcome back to Agent Confidential. The room changed. When Nick Saban, Condoleezza Rice, Adam Silver, conference commissioners, politicians, and media executives are sitting at the same table, the room has changed. Because this is not about NIL. This is no longer transfer portal chaos. This is about governance, structure, control. And this week, parts of the SCORE Act discussions and broader reform blueprints started leaking into public view. And once you read through it, you realize something important. The people in power believe the economics of college sports have become too big. Let's talk about it. Now let's get to the real center of power, media rights. Because this really isn't about trophies and championships anymore. It's about inventory. It's about distribution. It's about leverage. And that's why the discussions around pooled media rights are so explosive. Because once you start talking about redistributing media economics, you're talking about redistributing power. And honestly, if I was the SEC and Big Ten, I would push back strongly because they've spent years building those brands and television positions. But on the other side, you've got conferences like the Big 12 looking at the landscape and realizing they can't just sit still and hope things work out. That's why they deserve credit for being proactive. They understand the economic gap is widening. And once outside capital, media restructuring, and federal discussions all start intersecting, the room changes again. Everybody wants resources. One thing has become very clear through these discussions. The people shaping the future of college sports are increasingly thinking in tiers, not emotionally, economically. And that's why I say this isn't promotion, it's regulation. You're potentially moving towards a system where the power conferences separate even further from everyone else. Different economics, different governance, different postseason structures, and eventually different realities. And quietly, underneath all of this, you're seeing pressure spread into Olympic sports and non revenue sports. Travel cost, conference alignment, budget prioritization, because football economics pull the entire ecosystem behind them. That's not cruelty, that's resource allocation. A lot of fans think this is random chaos. It's not. It's a market becoming too large and too visible to stay informal. Congress isn't paying attention because Ohio State and Alabama have good rivalries. They're paying attention because billions of dollars are now moving through a system with limited structure, media concentration, antitrust pressure, employment questions, revenue sharing, interstate commerce. And once those conversations move from sports talk radio to Washington, the room changes. This doesn't mean every proposal becomes law. It doesn't mean every recommendation survives. But it absolutely means something important. The informal era of college sports is ending. So when people ask, what do the SCORE Act discussions really mean? It's really pretty simple. The people in power have decided that the economics in college sports have become too large, too public, and too politically sensitive to remain loosely regulated. And now the adults are in the room. They want structure, they want oversight, and ultimately, they want control. The room has changed. This is Agent Confidential.